Hey guys, King Charmander's here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you a video featuring level 50 RAYQUAZA in Open Master League. Yeah. RAYQUAZA is my favorite Gen 3 legendary. I love RAYQUAZA. The shiny is amazing, like mwah. And Mega RAYQUAZA is so dang overpowered. In the VCG, I remember back in the day or something like that, it was like banned because they're like, okay, this thing's like too overpowered. So I forgot which thing, but it was like banned in like, what, a week or something like that? Or like after the first tournament, they're like, okay, we need to ban this thing. It's too freaking overpowered. So yes, I love RAYQUAZA. And I'm using this RAYQUAZA actually that I caught from Tokyo when I went to Yokohama Go Fest. RAYQUAZA, that's the first time the shiny went out and I went freaking nuts for it. And be able, rating in Japan was, it felt like month one all over again because so many people there were playing, and then like every time you go to the park, it would be like packed. So it totally felt like month one, and remote raid, this was before remote raid, so it really felt like the first month of Pokemon Go. But this features a Open Master League freaking level 50 RAYQUAZA and dominating and absolutely, I'm actually beating like top meta like Zacian and Dialga, etc. with this team, so it's pretty nuts. So it takes down the top meta, and it's freaking hilarious at just like what it does, and it's actually like, these are some really sweet battles, and I hope you do enjoy them. Anyways, my mental health tip for the day. The mental health tip of the day is to make sure you are eating enough food. I know it doesn't sound... I know it sounds good, but like eating, like making sure you're getting like food, because some people like get really like conscious about like your shape, and that's fine. If you have an eating disorder or something of that sort, you should probably see a dietitian or see a doctor, or yeah, go to your doctor and see what they recommend to you. But make sure you eat. I know we get really busy sometimes and we don't eat, like you don't eat, but you need energy, and it helps improve your mood and your mental health for the day if you have enough energy to operate. And you're like, but King of Charmanders, don't you do MMA? Aren't you a wrestling coach and stuff? So you have to like cut weight? And I'm like, yes, I do. But you know, I also do half marathons, so I can eat a lot of food. My motivation for competing and beating down people and choking them senseless so I can get gold medals and just to stay in shape is so I can eat more food. And yes, if I had like a 7 deadly sins, mine would definitely be gluttony. Great anime, by the way, definitely recommend. I would definitely be, who's gluttony? The sin, gluttony, no, who's gluttony? I think it's Merlin. Merlin, she's the like sin of gluttony just because of her a glutton for knowledge, something like that. So yes, I'm a glutton and I love food. I love food. Comida, pagkain, food. That's 3 different languages: Tagalog, freaking Spanish, and English. I forgot what food is in Japanese, but I'm learning Japanese and Chinese too. So in my spare time, I use Duolingo and I do that. Anyways, yes, make sure y'all eat, get some food, even a little snack, get some food within you so you can regulate. Because unless you're like me where you've been doing it for a while, yeah, like you can't go throughout the day without having no food because your energy will just like tank and then you're doomed. But that's my therapist mental health tip for the day. This video features level 50 RAYQUAZA, hence these are freaking nuts battles, and I hope you all enjoyed the shoutcast. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so here are the battles. Level 50 RAYQUAZA! Oh, this is gonna be so painful. I tanked my eel a lot, so I hope y'all enjoy this. We get RAYQUAZA into Giratina, a shiny Giratina, by the way, and I'm not sure if that's a Shundo. If it is, I'm mega jelly. But anyways, this is great for us because with Dragon Tail, we are able to do big damage here. Aerial Ace, even as crappy as this move is, I'm hoping it breaks it. Hopefully we get a shield because I would like to get as many shields as we possibly can, and we do. As you see, Dragon Tail's doing big damage. The reason I like Dragon Tail so much is because we might get an extra one through like we did here. Now, this is really dicey because I'm like, do I shield? Do I shield? And I do elect to shield because I think it might be a Shadow Ball, and it's not a Shadow Ball, it's an obvious one. I'm like, oh, crap. Well, that's okay. So, what we're going to do here is I'm going to let RAYQUAZA go just because I want to preserve this energy. Or rather, I want to get some extra farm onto Gyarados just so that I can get to an extra move for whatever's in the back. Gyarados comes down, and when we farm down this possibly Shundo Giratina, and I'm mega jelly if it is a Shundo Giratina because I don't have a single Shundo yet. As much as King of Charmander just played and spent a lot of bread, it doesn't have a Shundo yet. That makes me sad. As you see, I'm going straight for the crunch. You don't want to go for Octail because it's resisted, but at the same time, I'm hoping to get the debuff here. That extra farm to help us out a little bit. Hopefully, we grab the debuff. Please give me the debuff, please. And we don't get the debuff. Of freaking course. So I'll be able to survive one Iron Head. However, I'm not going to get to a second one. And I'm going to have to fire Aqua Tail and do some chip. So this is going to be a little dicey. So I'm a little scared right now. Iron Head goes up, but it won't KO just because water does resist. And then we should be able to get to a Aqua Tail or a Crunch. You normally don't get to Crunch, but because I got that extra energy from Giratina Origins in the lead, we can get to 2 Crunches. Crunch goes off. We grab the second shield, and this is great. Now I can send in Machamp with a shield. I'm gonna have to time my cross chops really, really carefully, though, because I don't want this freaking Kyogre to get any more extra energy with these waterfalls, or get waterfalls through, because I need to get at least 2 cross chops worth of damage, and then I need to get 1 cross chop to save for that Dialga in the back, because I'm gonna be really, really hurt. Cross chop goes off. Is this a Shundo Kyogre? Or is this a Shundo? I'm gonna look at the CP. I never noticed this. 46 to 42. Is that a Shundo? Someone comment and tell me if that's a Shundo or not. Our opponent overcharges ridiculously here because they were like, okay, I need 2 waterfalls. Or 2 surfs. They're not gonna get to 2 surfs, bro. So, as you see here, our opponent kind of misplayed here because they should have fired both. But anyways, the way it should have played out, I would be able to get to a cross chop anyways, and that would be GG. So, either way, it would have been GG's. But if that's a Shundo Kyogre, I'm mad jelly, and that was a legend. So, fellow legend, you dang. Freaking the Shundo, the level 50 flex. You must have spent a lot of money on those, haven't you? I've spent a fair amount of bread, but not that much. Well, not that I haven't spent for any level 50 except RAYQUAZA, just because this is my Tokyo RAYQUAZA. And as you see, Tokyo RAYQUAZA loses a terrible lead, so that's why we switch into Gyarados right away, because Mamoswine is going to go to town. When Avalanche will KO RAYQUAZA, even though it's level 50, and we're in a lot of trouble right now. Mamoswine's avalanches do big damage, so I'm going to shield the first one. Hopefully, I'll be able to hit the Aqua Tail on it, and they manage to switch into Metagross. So, this is already terrible for us. Gyarados have to do some heavy lifting. I'm going to have to fire a Crunch, and hopefully, I do get the debuff. Please give me the debuff. It's a 30% chance, or a 100% chance to go Battle Lag, because go Battle Lag just takes your soul no matter what the hell you try to do, and as much as you... God, it's so annoying. Crunch will go off. So we're going too far off Crunch here, and hopefully we could either 1, grab a shield, or 2, we could get the debuff. I'm hoping it's the debuff because the idea here is I want to be able to get some extra farm on Machamp, and we do manage to grab a shield, which is great. Not going to shield the first one. We will live a Meteor Mash, and then they have the decision to fire a second one to take out our Gyarados, or... Yeah, this is going to be really dicey because I'm going to have to fire Aqua Tail here. They should be able to get to another Meteor Mash. Fire this one. Hopefully, I grab the second shield. That's what we need here. If we don't, that's okay. But I'm still in a really rough predicament. We grab the second shield, which is amazing. I'm like, yes, because I really want a second shield because now we have Mamoswine and we have RAYQUAZA. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send in RAYQUAZA here so I can sponge all this energy for Meteor Mash. RAYQUAZA is going to go in. We're going to try to Dragon Tail. Hopefully, with the -1, we could do a decent amount of chip. But I'm going to eat the Meteor Mash on purpose. I want to save that shield for our Machamp. So this is so dicey. Freaking RAYQUAZA can eat 1 Meteor Mash, but only 1. And then we're going to have to switch out into our Machamp. The idea here is to get enough energy, and unfortunately, they flex on us and snipe us down with this freaking Mamoswine. However, they don't know that we have Machamp in the back. So Machamp is going to go to town, give the 1-2 with the 4 arms, Goro, Mortal Kombat, Inspector Gadget. Even though it's, Machamp is muscle, not machine. So... all we're going to do is we're going to farm down here. We should have a lot of cross chops queued up. That Metagross is almost dead. And then, I don't know what we have in the back. So I'm like, okay, what do you have in the back? It's probably a Dialga. If it's a Dialga, we win. So as long as it does super effective damage, we win. It's not a Dialga, it's a Garchomp. And my brain, I'm like, oh no. There's a win condition here. There's a win condition. But I have to fire 3 cross chops. And I have to pray that this Garchomp doesn't actually have Sand Tomb, because if it does, I'm in trouble. So it doesn't look like they do have Sand Tomb based on like how much, because they should already got to it by now because they got that extra Dragon Tail through. So if I time this right, I should be able to KO this Garchomp, and then I should be able to get enough energy to farm down to, or just to get a cross chop onto that Metagross, and that should be GG's, or I could just punch it down. So, as you see here, it's getting dangerously close, and we managed to punch down. Thank you, God. They would, like, that Dragon Tail, like, yeah, thank you. And as you see, we punched down for the GG's. Really sweaty matchup. Can't believe I pulled that off, especially losing the lead as hard as I did over there with that Mamoswine, but we pulled off the dub. I hope y'all enjoyed that, because, dang. Whew. That was sweaty. freaking no mercy when it comes to all these, there's like no mercy when it comes to all these mammals, because level 50 Mamoswine is accessible, but oh man, like I was sweating because I was like, if you have Sand Tomb, I lose, and they had double nukes, so I got lucky. We have a third, for the third battle, we get a Garchomp. Garchomp returns for its vengeance against our RAYQUAZA, and I'm in a lot of trouble, and I'm hoping this is Mudshot. It is Mudshot, and I'm like, let's go, because with Mudshot, we have a pretty decent matchup. The only issue is I can get baited with Sand Tomb if it has Sand Tomb, and then usually it's Sand Tomb and Outrage, so then when you have that combination together, and you're like, okay, I don't want you to eat an Outrage, but hopefully we grab a shield with a really crappy move called Aerial Ace, and we do. I actually was thinking about not shielding here, because I was like, maybe this is a Sand Tomb. And my intuition was actually correct. It is a Sand Tomb. We're going to get debuffed here. They'll have an Outrage ready, and I'm going to like, oh, crap. So I'm in trouble. I'm going to Dragon Tail down here, and I'm like, ah, crap. So this is likely going to be an Outrage, so I have to shield. I'm down 2 shields. We win Switch, which is great, or win alignment. But are they going to give up Switch here? I'm hoping they do, and they don't. Garchomp goes down. They have shields. And now they send in a Dialga, and I send in my Gyarados, which prompts them to auto-swap. I think they swapped out of habit. I think they weren't trying to swap here, because they were like, wait a minute, it's a Kyogre. Kyogre into freaking Gyarados. Or they meant to do that because this Kyogre is going to be able to get to a Blizzard. Kyogre can get to a Blizzard, and then this should take out my Gyarados, plus they have a shield. The only thing they don't know is that I have Machamp in the back. So since I got that debuff, the game plan here is for them to Blizzard me. I send in Machamp, I get energy, and then it's gonna be a sweaty matchup. As you see here, Blizzard will go off, and that will KO our level 50 Gyarados, and we have to send in the Machamp. Machamp debuffed -1 because of the crunch. And then we should be able to get to 2 cross chops here. And then King of Charmanders is freaking happy right now. We're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna fire off the cross chop, bam. I should be a hut the second one. I'm gonna hit you with the 2-piece in the soda. Courtesy of Jorge Masvidal. Yes, I am a UFC fan as well as a pro wrestling fan. The 2-piece in the soda does go through. And then after we fire this one, all we're gonna do is send in RAYQUAZA and attempt to Dragon Tail. Or I think do I have a move queued? I fire off the cross chop. I send in my RAYQUAZA, and I do not have a move queued. But I catch the Iron Head, and then this Aerial Ace should go off, and that's GG's. Unless it's a Draco Meteor, and then I'm like, poof. We survive the whole Iron Head, we fire off the Aerial Ace, and that's GG's. We hit him with a 2-piece in the soda. Soda sounds pretty good right now. I got Zevia in my fridge. Zevia is the okay, you know what? My sister's vegan, so I go to Sprouts a lot, and I go to Whole Foods a lot, so they got Zevia, which is this no-calorie soda, and it doesn't have caffeine or anything like that. They do have a caffeine version, but they have a non-caffeine version, and I love Zevia. Zevia is amazing. Freaking love Zevia. Ever since then, I never drunk regular Coca-Cola or like Diet Coke. I just buy Zevia. And speaking of Zevia, we're gonna need this Mamoswine is gonna go ham on us. And by the way, is that a shiny? That's a shiny Mamoswine. Shiny level 50 Mamoswine. Dang, dude, that's a pretty sweet mon. They elect not to switch out after I say switch into Gyarados, and my mind's kind of like I'm kind of scratching my head because it's going to do super effective damage unless they have a great matchup against us in the back, which happens to be Excadrill. I get the idea here. Rock Slide, throw a bunch of rocks under my freaking Gyarados, and hopefully we bury it for good, but we should be able to get to an Aqua Tail here. We get to the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will go off, and this will do big damage unless they elect to shield. They don't shield. So my brain's kind of like, okay, what you got? We got a Mamoswine, we got an Excadrill, and I have RAYQUAZA. The issue with RAYQUAZA is that RAYQUAZA is pretty much dead meat at this point because we can't have it line up against Mamoswine. Big Bacon will KO me, and I don't want to get hit by Big Bacon because Big Bacon is very powerful. I'm talking about Mamoswine, by the way. Yeah, I know I've been talking about food, but you know, Mamoswine is bacon. You got pork, you got bacon, and that's a lot of meat, just saying. We're going to send Machamp, get some extra farm here. Now, we lose Switch, but we have shield advantage. So, as long as they don't have anything that hard counters Machamp, like a Togekiss or Zacian, I can do pretty dang well right now. I hope. As you see, I'm frantically tapping, and they happen to send in Mamoswine. This tells me you have a Dialga in the back. You have a Dialga, or you have something that doesn't like Machamp. Why would you have a team that's weak to Machamp? Level 50 Machamps are a thing, but then again, I haven't seen a level 50 Machamp for a while. As you see, we do get the Dialga, as I predicted, and I'm like, alright, cool, all I'm gonna do is punch this freaking big metal, super OP, mega meta dragon to death with my 4 arms of destiny, and destiny is on my side. And as you see here, all I'm going to do is just switch into, I'm gonna switch in RAYQUAZA, and then here's my idea. This is a 10,000 IQ play. Literal 10,000 IQ. This is one of the win conditions that, like, you basically make it so you don't... You want them to farm. You want farm. I want to double up on cross chop, and my opponent is like, is this guy lagging? He's like, no. No. He wants to cross chop so I can KO that Mamoswine. So again, this is a 10,000 IQ win condition play where you don't let your opponent farm you. You get farm on them, and then you double up on the cross chop for the dub. And they don't get to an Iron Head. So they're like, crap. So they quit out because they know I'll get to do cross chops. Again, it's a 10,000 IQ freaking play. Some battles you can win with this win condition, but they're very rare and they're very hard to identify, especially when you're playing a level 50 Rayquaza in Open Master League. Just saying. Hope you all enjoyed that, but yes, that's a strategy. That's a strat. And I have to put that in one of my win... I actually have to put that in my win condition video that I'm making for my masterclass. For the final battle, we get Rayquaza into Zacian. And yes, I had to feature this stupid thing on here. Yes, I beat this stupid thing. It makes me freaking happy that I did. You spent 300... Wait, how much is it? So you get 3 XL candy per. So it spends about... 3 XL candy per. So that's about, what, 30... Well, no, hold on. You gotta do, like, 90 raids, right? Yeah, 90 times 3 is, like, 270. Plus some change, so... Some change, so, like, $90. Plus, like, freaking 93, 94. About $100 to get an XL. Zacian, if you raid for it. And this one didn't have freaking player up, which I'm happy about. That's why I shielded. I should be able to live the second wild charge here. What I want to do is hopefully I can grab a shield or two. Hopefully I could grab a shield or two, and my opponent is aware of, like, what Rayquaza has. As you see here, we're going to fire the air lace. Because they're staying in, I'm predicting they're going to shield, just because they don't want to eat that damage -4. And then they do shield the second one, and I'm vibing pretty hard right now. They switch into a Groudon, and I am freaking happy because I'm like, I have a win condition now. With the problem is, for them, is that Gyarados walls Groudon. Just because you resist Mud Shot, you resist Fire Punch, as well as Earthquake. So, I can get an Aqua Tail off here, and then I can get Energy Q to take out the Zacian in the back with Aqua Tail. So, I'm vibing pretty hard right now. I'm pretty happy. The only issue is, what do you have in the back? Yeah, what do you have in the back? Because we have a Zacian, we have a Groudon, we have something else that we have to deal with. We do have an extra shield, though. So, I'm vibing... I'm hoping it's something that Machamp can just punch down and just, like, beat it, like, you know, the ground and pound. Just go full Habib. Take it down and then pound. Literal. Pound it. Bop it, destroy it, pound it. That Bop It was a really old toy back in the day, by the way. I don't have to shield anything here. I want to queue as much energy as I can so I could throw everything at the back. So Fire Punch goes through. We're going to have a butt ton of energy, and they send in a Zarude. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And I'm like, wait a minute. I can punch you to death. And I'm vibing. And I'm like, is that a level? Is that an XL Zarude? Are people really that desperate to go XL mode in this freaking cup? And I'm like, I guess so. Power Up will go through. That won't KO. However, this is pretty much GG's. You're going to see me Ultra Flex. The literal Ultra Flex. So we're going to punch down this Zarude. And then we're going to farm it down. And then we're going to end that Zacian's life. Because this thing shouldn't be able to get to a second move. Just because Machamp is super effective punching down those dark types. I go punch down the Groudon. They should have sacked, but it doesn't really matter because all I'm going to do, I still have 2 whole freaking Mons. We're going to cross chop here, and then I'm going to send it and flex on my opponents. My switch timer is almost up. As you see, they're trying, and they're frantically trying to farm me down to get enough energy to double up and KO me in the back. But all I'm doing is I'm going to hit you with the literal 2-piece in the soda. We're going to go 1, 2, cross chop. I'm going to swap in to my Gyarados. And I'm going to whip my tail around. I'm going to smack you in the face. And I'm going to take out your $90 freaking super meta freaking dog. And that's GG's. Screw your money. Screw your high barrier to entry. And get flexed on. And that's GG's. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Dang, that was a sweet match. I was like, yes. I was like freaking dancing. I was vibing so hard after that match. GG's. I hope y'all enjoyed those battles. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed those battles. Those were freaking nuts. And level... I tanked my elo so hard because of this. But as you see here, that team actually was... It was a lot of fun doing this. Like, smacking down super meta teams with, like, this really wonky team with a level 50 Rayquaza was pretty sweet. Like I mentioned, Gyarados and Machamp were level 50 as well, so this team was actually pretty interesting to run. It was a lot of fun. It was really funny. But I did get this. This was my Rayquaza So I probably will do a video on this. If you want the video, put it in the comments. But I actually got this Rayquaza from Tokyo. I was raiding back when the shiny version from Rayquaza first came out. I went to Yokohama Go Fest, and then I did Ralt's Community Day down there in, I think it was Shinjuku. Yeah, I did in Shinjuku. And I was at the TV station. That's a really good place for you to grind if you're going to go for a community day. And I was walking around for raids, and I was like, you know what? There was this Rayquaza raid, like, right, like, over the bridge. So the area was, like, right here, so I could walk all the way over, go over the, and then on the other side, and then down this, like, really busy street in the middle, I did the Rayquaza raid. And then when I saw it on my screen, I saw that it was a hundo, and my heart stopped because I only had like 9 balls, and there were a bunch of like Japanese Pokemon Go players around me, and they looked at my screen. Some of them like looked around, and then they did this, and it was freaking hilarious. Well, not hilarious, but they looked at me, and I was like, oh my god. And they realized the horror because I only had 9 balls. Because what happened was that remote raids weren't there back then, so you couldn't go with your friends. So you were still doing the whole, like, okay, it's not your gym, and then, like, balls were, like, scarce. So I was, like, my heart stopped. Actually, I didn't think I had 9. I had 7. So my heart was stopping. I was like, oh my god, if this runs, I don't know if I can recover. So after the third one, I caught it, and I was like, you want to be polite. So I was being hella polite because, you know, like, I want to be really considerate because, like, you know, you want to be really considerate when you're in another country. I don't want to look like a super Americanized piece of garbage because, you know, customs and courtesies. But then I was like going nuts. I was like, my face like lit up, and I was like just shaking my head. I was like doing this. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then like everyone was looking around me, and they're like, oh my god. And then like, because I looked at the IVs and it was a hundo, and then everyone was like, and then they were like cheering. They're ooh, and then they're like clapping. And I was like, yes, I got a freaking hundo, let's go. And then I had like 7 people around me just like legitimately happy for you. Those were the good days, man. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed that story. I should like put the video out there because I think I still have like, yeah, I should definitely do a video. But anyways, if you do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the battles with my level 50 Tokyo Rayquaza, my baby, my prized possession. Next to 2 Charmanders, you see sub box right there. Please like and subscribe. It's totally free. Next to 2 Charmanders, you see the little sub box to the right. Put your mouse over it. You could easily subscribe from there. Really appreciate my current subscribers. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.